She wakes before dawn, the sky still dark and silent. Through her window, she can see the first faint stars fading. Lucy pulls her blanket closer, but the cool air of the empty room makes her shiver. Ever since her brother moved to Nova Station 6 months ago, mornings feel different. The space beside her bed is pulled tight, like a wound that will not heal. In the years before, they whispered secrets under these stars. Now only emptiness remains. Downstairs, the kettle hisses as water boils. She makes 2 mugs of tea out of. Habit, though only 1 cup will be drunk. The other she places on the small table by the front door, as if his spirit might walk through at any moment. It is a small ritual. Brew the tea, set it out, then sit and listen. The house is quiet, save for the hum of old air filters and the ticking of the hallway clock. Sue breathes in, tasting hope in the steam that rises. She scrolls her finger over the smooth surface of her tablet. His picture greets her, a younger boy with bright eyes and an adventurous grin. She taps her screen, opening their last video call. It is frozen on a moment when he laughed at one of her jokes. She tries to press play, but the connection fails. A small red icon blinks in the corner. No signal. She stares at the frozen frame, wishing she could reach through and touch him, to feel that laugh again. At work, she walks the corridors of the research lab, with her shoulders heavy. Data screens flicker and pulse, but none of it matters without someone to share it with. In meetings, she speaks less. Her colleagues ask if she is all right. She forces a smile and says she is fine. They accept this answer without pressing. She piles through reports, calibrates instruments, and runs simulations. Each task reminds her that humans can build wonders, from artificial worlds to quantum drive engines. Yet her own heart seems to have lost its spark. On her way home, she pauses near the message drop box. Inside, colorful holocards and voice note chips are stored until recipients download them. She fishes out one of her own letters, sealed in a thin envelope. Her hand trembles as she holds it. She wrote about the new telescope she and her brother planned together, about the day they chased meteor showers, about how she misses his jokes. She wonders if he ever thinks of her in that moment. With a deep breath, she slides the envelope into the box. The mechanism clinks. It is sent. That night, she dreams of starfields and empty chairs. She hears a distant voice calling her name, echoing through corridors of glass and steel. She follows the sound until she finds herself standing before the vast hull of Nova Station. Illuminated by distant suns, the hatch opens, and she steps inside. There her brother stands, smiling. He reaches out his hand and she takes it. The moment is warm and golden. Then the dream dissolves, and she wakes with tears on her cheeks. Her phone vibrates. She sits up and rubs her eyes. A single notification shines in the dark. A new message from Cal. Her breath catches. She taps it. A small holocard unfolds before her eyes, showing a simple drawing of 2 stars side by side. Underneath, his handwriting reads, "I miss you. 2. Let's watch the next meteor shower together." Her heart pounds, and for the first time in months, she allows herself to smile. She whispers to the empty room tomorrow, as if speaking to him. Moonlight filters through the curtains, and she feels strength rise inside her. She picks up her tablet and types a response. "I can't wait. I'll set up the telescope here. Send me the time." She presses send. Hope stretches across the void between worlds, carried on light beams and coded signals. In that moment, she remembers who she is. Someone who never gives up on connections that matter, who finds ways to bridge any distance, and who believes in the power of the human heart. Lucy closes her eyes and breathes deeply. The ache in her chest softens. She knows reconnection will not be easy. There will be delays, dropped signals, and lonely days ahead. But she also knows this. Humans endure. They build bridges across dark spaces. They send messages into the silence and wait for answers. They keep each other alive, no matter how far apart they roam. And so, with hope lighting her path, Lucy faces the night, ready for whatever dawn may bring. Asterisk, she opens her eyes to a bright morning sun that feels too warm for her small cluttered room. A holocard from Cal glows on her desk, reminding her of last night's promise. She sits up slowly, her heart pounding with both excitement and fear. What if the signal fails?
Oh,
What if he does not see her reply? She breathes deeply and steadies her hands. Today, she will try something new to reach him. Will prove that no distance is too great for a human determined to bridge the gap. In the kitchen, Lucy pours coffee into a simple mug, plain white. No symbols or slogans. She thinks of Cal and the time they once shared, sipping sweet spiced tea under twin dawns. That memory fills her with warmth. She takes a photo of the empty mug against the window and records a short message. Good morning. Cal, I made coffee like we used to on Earth. She presses send and watches the progress bar crawl forward. Each percent feels like a small victory, a step closer to reconnecting a distant friendship. After breakfast, she walks to the community garden on her colony world. The paths wind between tall, silver-leafed trees that sway in the gentle breeze. She remembers planting a sapling with Cal when they were children, dreaming of exploring alien forests together. Now the tree stands alone without him. She kneels in the soft soil, gently pruning the young branches. As she works, she hums their favorite song, a melody of hope and human perseverance that Cal once taught her. She hopes the song will reach him, carried in her voice over light-year distances. By midday, her message still shows delivered, but no reply. She tries not to let her shoulders slump. Instead, she opens her workshop and tucks a small data cube into a protective case. Inside are holographic projections of their childhood adventures, laughing at shooting stars, racing tiny hover cars, daring each other to climb rust-stained towers. She crafts a note. For you, wherever you are, we made memories worth sharing. She seals the cube in a light payload and arranges for an automated courier ship to deliver it toward Nova Station's general mailbox. It is a human solution. Send tangible memories when digital ones falter. Afternoon light filters through a stained glass window in the community center. Throwing colored shapes on the floor, Lucy volunteers here once a week, teaching children simple engineering principles. Today, she helps them build small wind-powered toys. As they race their creations along the polished floor, she laughs and claps. For a moment, she forgets her own loneliness. The children's joy reminds her that humans are inventive by nature, capable of turning wind into motion, distance into connection. She feels pride in her work and determination to apply that same ingenuity to reach Cal. Evening falls, and Lucy returns home with tired feet. She pauses at the door, breathing deeply before stepping inside. On her table lies the bouquet of wild iris and bluebells she picked on her walk home. She arranges them in a clear vase and leans close to inhale their sweet scent. She records another message, this time a voice note. I miss you. Here are flowers from Earth's cousins. I hope their beauty reaches you. She sends it and waits. Staring into the glass petals, hope is an ember that needs gentle tending. She refuses to let it die. The clock ticks past midnight. She yawns but stays awake, eyes fixed on her tablet. The delivery confirmation from the courier arrives. The cube has docked with Nova Station's mail hub. Her chest swells with quiet triumph. Finally, a reply from Kayland. It is a voice recording. His warm tone says, I received your gift. The memories made me smile. I miss our mornings and laughs. I can't wait to share more with you. Her tears fall freely, but her lips curve in a bright smile. In that instant, distance seems smaller. Lucy closes her eyes and sends a final thought into the silent room. Tomorrow, they will watch the meteor shower together, her on the garden rooftop, him on his station's observation deck. She trusts that human creativity and determination can conquer any gulf. She knows there will be delays and obstacles, but she also knows that humans, wherever they roam, never give up on those they care about. That conviction's stronger than any engine will guide her through the void. With hope rekindled, she drifts into a peaceful sleep, ready for the next dawn. Lucy wakes to the soft hum of morning wind through her window's small vents. She stretches and listens to the gentle rustle of leaves outside. Last night's message from Cal is still fresh in her mind. He promises to meet her for the next meteor shower. But time and distance remain a challenge. Nova Station orbits a distant star, and light speed signals take hours to cross the void. She knows they need something more, something human and bold to close the gap. She slips into her workshop, where scattered tools and half-built prototypes fill the shelves. In the corner sits a spindly antenna she began months ago, hoping to amplify weak signals across solar systems. Today, she decides she will finish it. Her fingers work quickly, attaching delicate circuit boards with steady precision. As she solders, she recalls how humans first sent radio waves into the void, centuries ago, guided by hope that someone would listen. Now she carries that same spirit forward, determined to make her voice heard. By midday, the antenna stands tall on her balcony, thin latticework glowing in the sunlight. She connects it to her transmitter and points it toward Nova Station's last known orbital path. On her tablet, she loads a custom signal, a simple rhythmic pulse designed to carry voice, image, even a small hologram.
Ow.
She records her greeting. Cal, this is Lucy. I built an antenna to reach you. Turn it on when you can. I miss you and I believe in us. She replays the message and nods. Sounds like her, hopeful and human. She powers on the transmitter. The antenna hums softly as power flows. On her screen, the signal meter flickers, then stabilizes. She watches the pulses climb toward threshold. Time stretches. Her heart pounds with equal parts excitement and fear. She steps back and breathes deeply, recalling humanity's first explorers who looked at stars and wondered what lay beyond. At work, she cannot stop thinking about the antenna. In meetings, her mind drifts to the memory of Cal's laugh when they built small gliders together. As children, she sketches simple designs on discarded notes ideas for future signal boosters, community mesh networks, relay stations on passing asteroids. She imagines humans everywhere sharing messages of friendship and hope, weaving a web of connection. Across the darkness, she hurries home and reviews the signal logs. Some pulses registered as weak echoes on Nova Station's beacon monitors, but most faded. She sighs but does not give up. People in her colony often tell her she is too stubborn. Yet she knows stubbornness is human strength, the refusal to accept impossible. She tweaks the transmitter settings and adds a small power amplifier scavenged from old mining lasers. The device winds to life again, louder and steadier this time. Evening falls, and Lucy climbs to the rooftop garden. Under a sky studded with pinpoints of light, she sets up a simple tripod for her tablet aimed at Orion's belt. She sends another message through her makeshift antenna, a short video of herself among the flowers, smiling and waving. She laughs softly as she records, remembering how Cal once taught her to catch moonflowers by their glowing tips. She ends the clip with a wink. Any moment now. She watches the stars, counting the ticks until her signals might arrive. In the quiet, she feels an unbreakable bond to every human who ever stood under the night sky and hoped someone else was watching. 2. A light breeze carries the scent of lavender and soft earth. She breathes in deeply, holding on to hope like a lifeline. Late at night, her tablet chirps, a response from Cal at last. Her pulse races as she opens the message. Lucy, I see your signal. The station's array captured your pulses. I love the new design. I'm on my way to the observation deck. Wait for me here. Her smile lights the dark room. The words feel warm, like the first rays of a new dawn. Days Lucy refines her antenna into a small network hub. She shares her plans with neighbors and fellow engineers, teaching them how to build cheap relays on local satellites. Soon her colony's sky is dotted with tiny beacons, beaming messages across the system. When Cal arrives at her rooftop meeting spot, he finds dozens of blinking lights overhead, each one carrying a story, a greeting, a memory. He reaches for her hand and marvels, "You didn't just build a way to reach me. You built a bridge for everyone. Lucy's eyes fill with tears of joy. She knows that human creativity and hope can conquer any distance. She and Cal stand together under the web of glowing beacons, proof that no void is too deep, no night too dark. In that moment, she feels the full power of humanity's spirit, the courage to dream, the tenacity to build, and the hope that love can travel faster than any engine. She squeezes Cal's hand and whispers against his palm, "We're never really apart." And in that truth they find home. Lucy wakes to the soft glow of dawn through her bedroom window. She hears the low hum of the small relay beacons she and Cal built together. Each light pulses in time, forming a gentle heartbeat across the sky. She slips out of bed, feeling a tug of excitement in her chest. Yesterday's reunion with Cal still feels like a dream. Today, she plans to help him finish a project that could bring their voices to even more distant worlds. In the workshop corner, Cal stands over a half-built transmitter. His hands move confidently as he fits a new lens onto the signal emitter. When he sees Lucy enter, his face brightens. She crosses the room and offers him a cup of strong coffee. He accepts it, and for a moment, they just stand side by side. Sipping and watching morning light dance on metal surfaces, Lucy feels warmth spread through her. She realizes that no matter what they build, the greatest strength lies in their partnership. They move to the rooftop, careful not to jostle delicate cables. Lucy carries a toolbox, while Cal balances the larger components.
Ow.
The rooftop garden is quiet, and the wildflowers they planted gently sway. Together, they lift the new emitter into place, linking it to the existing network of beacons. Lucy adjusts the angle of the dish, remembering how humans once used giant satellite arrays to talk across continents. She tightens a bolt and steps back. Cal connects the final wire, and the device hums to life. Lucy taps her tablet to run a test signal. She records her voice, clear and steady. "This is Lucy, sending greetings to anywhere you are. You're here, and we remember you." Cal grins as the network of beacons glows in response, relaying her words outward. They share a high five. In that moment, distance feels smaller. 8. Lucy knows there is more to do. The next step is to extend their message beyond the colony's orbit. After breakfast, Lucy and Cal meet with the colony council. People fill the meeting hall, curious about the new network. Lucy stands at the front, feeling her heart pound. She speaks in simple English, clear and earnest. "Our beacons carry messages across our system. But beyond that, other human settlements may wait, cut off for generations. We can reach them. Together, we can share hope." Faces in the room soften. Engineers nod, farmers look hopeful. The council leader smiles and says, "We'll support this mission." Over the next days, the colony works as one. Teams of builders gather old communication dishes, while others retrofit small freighters as message carriers. Lucy and Cal guide them, teaching human ingenuity at its finest. How to repurpose scrap metal. How to lean on one another in hard tasks. How to believe in success. Lucy wakes each morning tired and sore, but every hurt in her bones reminds her of purpose. The song of hope is strong here. Humans helping humans, reaching out into the void. One afternoon, as they load the final freighter, a sudden storm blows in. Fierce winds whip across the landing pad, rattling open frames and drenching everyone in cold rain. Workers scramble for cover. Lucy grips the side of a dish, trying to secure it. Cal rushes to help. For a moment they fear losing the precious components they have worked so hard to build. Then Lucy shouts above the roar, "Human minds never give up." She pulls a loose cable back into place. Cal follows her example, tying down panels with spare cord. Together they save the last dish from flying away. When the storm passes, their clothes are soaked and their faces are streaked with rain. Yet they laugh, proud of their small victory over nature. That night, round a communal fire, Lucy and Cal stand with their friends. The freighters rest in the hangar, ready to carry messages to hidden human worlds. Lucy looks at Cal and says, "Softly, I was so afraid of losing you in the distance. But now I see, when we work together, no gap is too wide." Cal takes her hand and replies, "Humans endure. We build bridges from hope." They share a warm smile as they look up at the beacons overhead, now shining steadily in the dark sky. Before dawn, Lucy climbs back to the rooftop. She sits among the flowers, holding a small data cube in her hand. Inside are drawings, music, stories, gifts from their colony to other humans. She taps the cube to her tablet and sends a final signal. "We are here. You are not alone." As the message pulses outward, she feels a gentle thrill. On the horizon, out among the stars, someone will hear her voice. They will smile, and they will know that across light years, human named Lucy remembered them. Lucy leans back, cradling Cal's old sweater around her shoulders. Hope rises in her chest like the morning sun. She closes her eyes and breathes in the scent of wet flowers and fresh rain. She knows there will be more storms, more lonely nights waiting for a reply. But she also knows this: humans forge connections no matter how far apart they roam. Even when hearts feel distant, the drive to reach out, to create, and to share hope will. Lucy wakes to the low hum of the colony's beacon network. Far above, tiny lights blink in silent rhythm. Her heart feels full, even before she opens her eyes. Yesterday, the first freighter left on its long journey, carrying messages and memories to hidden human worlds. Today, she hopes for a reply. She slips into her work clothes and steps onto the balcony. The air is crisp, scented with morning dew on wildflowers. She breathes in deeply and listens. If humanity has taught her anything, it is this: hope is not a quiet wish, but a bold act. She moves to the relay console and checks the signal logs. Most pulses faded into space, but there is one entry tagged received. Her pulse quickens. She taps the notification. It is a short burst from the remote settlement called Ember Haven. The message is simple: "Thank you, friends. We hear you. We will answer soon." Lucy's hands tremble with joy. Ember Haven was thought lost, its people cut off after their world's core reactor failed. To hear their voice again feels like a miracle. She shares the news with Cal, who is already pouring coffee in the kitchen. They hug, careful not to spill the hot liquid. Over breakfast, they plan how to respond. Lucy suggests sending news of their own, stories, music, even seedlings from the tallest trees on their world. Cal smiles and adds, "Let's include bluebell seeds. Remember how you always loved their color?" She nods, her eyes bright. Humans plant seeds of life and hope, she thinks. Their sharing these gifts will show Ember Haven they are not alone. By midday, Lucy and Cal work with a team of engineers and gardeners. They fill data cubes with messages recorded in many voices: children singing old lullabies, elders telling tales of Earth's dawn, friends describing the colony's gardens. They pack small vials of bluebell and moonflower seeds, each labeled. With planting instructions, everyone writes personal notes. The workshop buzzes with energy. Laughter echoes off steel walls. This is human strength. Gathering together, combining talents, building hope from many parts. In the afternoon, they load their newest freighter. The ship is painted with murals of stars, branches, and human figures reaching out to one another. Lucy steps back and studies the painting. She sees herself and Cal hand in hand, faces turned toward the horizon. She feels pride. People gather around her, nodding and smiling. She raises her voice and says, "We are sending our hands across the void. These seeds and stories will bloom where darkness once reigned." The crowd cheers softly, filled with emotion. As evening falls, Lucy and Cal climb to the rooftop garden. Lanterns glow along the paths, casting warm light on petals and leaves. They set up a small transmitter linked to the freighter's departure. Lucy sends a final message. "Ember Haven, we are here for you. May these seeds grow as our friendship grows. We wait for your reply." She watches the transmitter beam. The signal skyward in steady pulses. Night deepens, and stars appear one by one. Lucy and Cal stand together under the web of beacons. She rests her head on his shoulder. He wraps an arm around her. For a moment, there is only silence and light. Then her tablet chirps. A new message from Ember Haven. Lucy's eyes fill with tears. She taps it open. The reply is longer this time. A voice recording of children laughing, followed by an elder's voice. We will plant your seeds. We will tell your stories. Have waited years for human contact. Now we will rebuild together. Lucy listens, her tears falling freely. Cal squeezes her hand and says softly, "This is why we do this." Lucy wipes her eyes and speaks into the recorder. "From our hearts to yours, we will help you rebuild. You are never alone." Ends the message and sends it back. The beacons glow brighter, as if celebrating. Later that night, around a dinner fire in the common hall, Lucy tells the story of Emberhaven's reply. Children sit at her feet, wide-eyed. Adults lean forward, some wiping tears. She says humans are never truly distant. When we reach out, even the smallest light can cross the darkest void. Cal raises his mug, and everyone joins him, to connection, to hope, to humanity. The hall fills with clinking cups and murmurs of unity. Before bed, Lucy steps outside one last time. The beacons shine softly overhead, like a net of stars, close enough to touch. She closes her eyes and feels peace. She remembers the lonely mornings when she feared she had lost. Cal to the void. Now she knows that any distance can be bridged by human will, human kindness, and human hope. She whispers to the sleeping colony, "We are here, always here." Night. And in the quiet night, hope answers back. A soft wind moves through the trees. Outside Lucy's window, morning light filters in, painting golden lines across her blanket. She opens her eyes slowly, the silence in the room pressing against her chest. Cal had returned to Nova Station 2 days ago. The project to reconnect. Human colonies was growing fast, and he was needed there to lead the next phase. But now, his absence sits heavy in the space beside her. She sits up, wraps herself in a sweater, and walks quietly to the kitchen. The mug he used still sits on the table, untouched. She runs a finger along its rim. It feels cold, her chest. Aches in a familiar way in emptiness that returns every time someone she loves moves far away. This isn't the first time Cal has left, but each time it feels like something important has gone missing. Lucy makes tea and carries it to the balcony. The garden stretches below, filled with bluebells and moonflowers. The beacons still blink. High in the sky, sharing messages with distant worlds. She knows their work matters. She knows Cal left to help others. But the feeling of being alone creeps in, quiet and strong. She taps her tablet, hoping for a message. Nothing new. She scrolls through older ones, his voice, his smile, the little jokes he sent every night. Each recording feels like a thread, pulling her back to warmth. But tonight, there is only silence. She sighs and leans back, watching a single cloud drift above the garden. At work, Lucy tries to stay busy. She helps students fix a broken drone, then runs a test on a new relay satellite. But her mind wanders. She remembers how Cal used to leave small notes under her keyboard. "Don't forget lunch, or you're amazing." Without those notes, the lab feels quieter, colder. That evening, she walks alone to the hill behind the colony. A place she and Cal visited, often just grass, rocks, and wind. She sits on their favorite stone and pulls out her notebook. On the first page she writes, "I miss you. I miss your voice. I miss your laugh in the quiet moments. I miss not having to say anything at all." She stares at the words, then adds, "But I believe in us. I believe humans can build more than machines. We build bridges with our hearts. So I'll wait and I'll write until we meet again." She tears out the page, folds it gently, and slips it into a weatherproof jar. Then she buries it under the stone. A small ritual, human one. Something to hold on to. As she walks home, her tablet buzzes. A message. She stops, heart racing. It's from Cal. "Hey Lou, I miss you too. Every time I look out the viewing window, I think about our garden in the hill. It's hard up here without you. I'm building something special. It's a surprise. Just wait a little longer. I promise it will be worth it." Tears slip down her cheeks, but she smiles. Even across light years, he's still thinking of her, still building, still believing. Inspired, she returns to her lab. She opens a private project file one she's kept secret for weeks. A design for a long-range personal communicator shaped like a bracelet. Not a heavy tool, but something small and close, like a whisper on the wrist. She calls it HeartLink. Her goal: let loved ones feel connected at any time, no waiting for long messages. Just simple signals. A heartbeat pattern, a light touch of warmth, a shared memory. A human invention made for emotion, not just distance. She works through the night, soldering, coding, testing. At sunrise, she straps the first prototype to her wrist. It glows softly, then pulses once. She programs it with a signal for Cal and sends it to Nova Station. A few minutes later, her bracelet blinks twice. A reply, no words, just a signal, a heartbeat rhythm, Cal's heartbeat. She closes her eyes and holds her wrist to her chest. For the first time in days, she feels him beside her, not in sight, but in spirit, and that is enough.
Later that
week, she shares the HeartLink idea with the colony. Others join her, helping improve the design, testing different shapes and materials. Soon, people across the colony wear them. Friends, family, even children in school, little lights of connection flicker everywhere. A new human invention is born, not to fight, not to travel, but to feel, to remind people they are never truly alone. One evening, as Lucy stands under the sky, she sees a new light blinking beside the beacon web, a new satellite built by Cal's team now, orbiting above. Her HeartLink pulses with a new signal. Look up. She sees a pattern of lights form their names in code. L+C. Her laugh echoes into the night. She whispers, "We are human. We feel, we hope, we build, and we never stop trying." She smiles, knowing that distance is only space, and space can be crossed with light, love, and human courage. Lucy sat quietly on the edge of her rooftop garden, a blanket wrapped around her shoulders. The night sky above was full of stars, and the soft blinking of beacon satellites crossed in gentle arcs. The beacons had become part of her life now, constant, steady, always reaching. Yet tonight, her heart felt a little heavier. It had been 3 weeks since Cal's last message. At first, she thought it was just a signal delay. Maybe he was too busy. Now she wasn't sure. Every day, she sent a simple note through her HeartLink bracelet, just a soft pulse, a rhythm they had created together. But there was no reply. She looked down at the bracelet on her wrist. It glowed a soft blue, waiting, always waiting. "I miss you," she whispered to the night. "More than I can say." The next morning, Lucy walked through the colony with a quiet mind. People greeted her kindly, some wearing their own HeartLink bracelets. Many now connected with far-off family and friends. The small invention had changed lives. It had brought people closer. But even though it helped so many, Lucy still felt a quiet distance growing inside her. She missed Cal's voice, his warmth, his quiet laugh in the early morning when they watched the sunrise. She missed his presence more than any message could carry. At the lab, she stared at the map of human colonies across the galaxy. Little glowing dots marked each connected world. Thanks to their efforts, 28 new human outposts had reconnected. Some were tiny, others large, but all of them shared stories. Songs and smiles through the network Lucy and Cal helped build. She touched the screen gently, her finger hovering over Nova Station's dot. Still no update. That evening she walked again to the hill behind the colony, their favorite place. The stone they once sat on was still there. She sat quietly, holding a new message in her hand. This one wasn't a signal or a broadcast. It was a letter. A real letter, written on paper, sealed in a small envelope. She didn't know how to send it yet. Maybe she never would, but writing it helped. In the letter, she had told Cal everything. About her sadness, about how the distance made her feel small and afraid, about how she missed him every single day, but also how proud she was of him. She ended it with, "No matter how far we are, I believe in us. I believe in humans. We always find each other." She placed the letter in a weatherproof jar and buried it beneath the same stone. Another small human ritual, quiet promise. Then, as she stood up to leave, her bracelet pulsed. Once, twice, 3 times. A pattern. Their pattern. She gasped, heart pounding. She pressed her fingers against the bracelet. "Cal," she whispered. Her tablet beeped. "A message?" She tapped quickly, eyes wide. "Lucy, I'm okay. I'm sorry it's been so long. Nova Station suffered a solar storm, communications were down. But I never stopped thinking about you. Every single day, I wore my heart link and waited. I knew you were there. I knew you'd still be trying." Tears filled her eyes. She sat back down on the stone, laughing through the tears. "You're okay," she whispered. "You're okay." Another message arrived, this time with a short video. Bill sat at his station window, the stars behind him. Looked tired, but happy. "I have something to show you," he said, smiling. The video turned to show a new section of Nova Station, bright green with young plants. "We built a garden here, just like ours. I used the bluebell seeds you sent. They bloomed." Yesterday, Lucy pressed her hands over her heart. She could almost smell the flowers through the screen. That night, she sent him a video back, her walking through their garden under starlight. The moonflowers glowing, the wind gently singing between leaves. She ended the video with a soft smile. "We're still here, still connected, still human." From that moment, something shifted. Not just between her and Cal, but across the entire network. Messages of hope poured in from colonies who had once been silent. A father reconnected with his daughter after 10 years. A boy sent his first message to a grandmother on a far-off planet, and one colony, once thought completely lost, sent back a simple phrase: "We heard your light." Lucy realized then what made humans different. It wasn't just their machines or their science. It was their hearts, the way they reached across space, holding each other through silence and time. They never stopped caring. They never stopped trying. They always found each other again. And Lucy, standing under the stars, finally understood. Distance didn't mean the end. It just meant the journey would take a little longer. But humans always make it home.